Okay, this video is going to go through the appendix material PowerPoint for advanced accounting, where we're going to talk about data analytics. I'm actually not going to talk about the blockchain technology, just the data analytics. So basically, data analytics is a very hot topic in accounting, and the CPA exam has now added a lot of data analytics into the questions. And then if you get out there in the work world, they're going, your employer is going to expect you to be able to do data analytics. So it's going to become more and more in our accounting texts. And this is the first time it's been added to advanced accounting in this appendix material. So data analytics is the process of examining large volumes of data to come up with some sort of useful pattern to help make decisions. So again, normally it's big data where it's extremely large and very complex, and we have all kinds of things that we could look for in there. So it gives you these 4 V's. So volume, which again is a very, very large data set, which is too large to analyze by traditional methods. Variety, it contains all kinds of different data, numbers and descriptions and locations and all that type of stuff. So all different data is in there. The velocity, obviously the speed at which data is being produced. I don't know, there's a statistic that there's so much data in the world and all of it has been created in the past so many years, like 20 years or something like that. So it's just expanding at an exponential rate every year. And then the veracity is the quality of the data. So again, we could have uncertain accuracy or reliability. There could be errors in the data, and that's going to be part of what our data analytics does, is sometimes looks for those errors. So the 4 types of data analytics are descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. So descriptive tries to explain what happened. So an example, and there's another example on the next slide, but it says, what were the sales last month? Diagnostic is to try to understand why it happened. So sales, if they increased, did they increase because we spent more on advertising? Did they increase in a certain geographic area? So you're just trying to figure out why. Predictive is to predict what will happen. So, if we have a credit card charge, is that different than past purchases by that credit card holder? I think the next example will give us a better one. Prescriptive is determine what should happen. So if we're saying like this is saying, if we have a big night, how many servers should we have to handle the load? Or we're looking ahead and we're trying to make a positive change. So the next slide gives us a little more accounting ones. So from a descriptive analytics, we can look at comparative income statements. So like sales by location, inventory valuations. We can compute ratios on those financial statements and then analyze the change in those ratios. Diagnostic analytics could be budget variance reports to say what was our budget versus our actual, and compare those variances to see what happened. Segment sales reporting. So again, you could have your total sales, break that down by what state it's located in, or region of the country. And then you could explain like why. So like maybe sales in the Northeast increased, or sales down south decreased, or expenses in this area increased in that way. So you're trying to figure out why something happened and break it into different pieces. Predictive could be estimate credit worthiness of customers, estimate what type of losses we could have in the future, identify risky areas in an audit. Prescriptive analytics is identify like investment strategies or tax strategies that'll help us save money. So we're kind of looking ahead and making some predictions into the future on our financial statements. Most accounting firms have fully embraced it. Actually, they say that now, like our big 4 CPA firms are actually hiring a lot of IT or computer type majors in addition to accounting majors, because so much of the audit is looking at the IT systems that customers are using and wanting to know are they accurate or not. So, I mean, our accounting firms are definitely, they have really embraced all of the Excel management skills and all of the things that we're going to talk about in this section. So as a future accounting professional, you definitely want to have good Excel skills. Again, possibly even like Tableau or some other type of skills. But know how to download data, how to organize data, how to sort through it quickly, and to be able to play around with it and not be scared of it. So steps to an analytical mindset, you want to ask the right questions. So to ask the right questions, you have to kind of understand those underlying business processes and know what the user of these statements, or like if you're going to make a graph or a chart or a table, what does the end user want to see? Because obviously the data is, like we said, so voluminous, you could almost do anything. So you want to tweak it to what the actual users would want. Then you want to be able to extract, transform, and load that data. So maybe download it from their mainframe, whatever large computer system they're using, or even if it's QuickBooks, download it from QuickBooks, but download that data into something that you can, like a tool that you can manipulate like Excel, and then be able to make a pivot chart, to make a pivot table. So again, you're knowing what they want and you're transforming it into something they want to see. Apply the appropriate analytics techniques, because maybe it is just preparing a table, giving them an average or a count or things like that. Maybe they want to say, let's look at prior year to this year and what type of change happened. So all those things, again, you can do in Excel or whatever data analytics you're using, and then be able to interpret and present those results. So like I just was talking about with like charts or tables, those are probably the easiest way to show an external user, summarize that data. So you don't want to give them a ginormous chart that has so much information they can't even decipher it. You want it to be kind of easy to read and easy to understand. So our data analytics tools, we have, there's like business intelligence, so BI. We have a Power BI program out there, but it's different technologies that are used to analyze that data and communicate it. So there's data warehousing and storage, data mining and extracting, reporting and querying. So again, depending on where you work, they're going to indicate what type of business intelligence tools that you're going to use. The most popular programs are Excel and Tableau. So Excel is what we're going to use in this class. Tableau is a free download. So you can download that, and then once you have it download, you can just bring in your Excel spreadsheet into Tableau and then manipulate it there, again, to maybe create like a dashboard that is more attractive than what you can do in Excel. I haven't played around with Tableau enough to, do videos on that, but I do have that download, and I have kind of moved Excel in there and played around a little bit. So it's free and it's something you could do, so you might as well do it if you want to learn that. And then the data visualization again is creating those charts, things that just a user can look at quickly and understand what they're looking at. So here's an example of a chart, and I feel like there's no correct answer of which is best and why, but as long as it's somewhat simple and easy to read, that's the most important thing. And then obviously, like we said in another slide, knowing your external users and knowing what they want to see. So if you know what they want to see and you can present it in a professional looking graph that is easy to read, or a table, that's going to be what visualization is best. Okay, so the goal of this chapter is to play around with Excel, and our homework is going to give us Excel spreadsheets and ask you to, do some different things, do pivot tables, do some different data analysis packets, of tools and download those and do some different things. So I just want you to get comfortable and play around with it as much as you can.